Let me start off with a story. When I was going to the corner store near my house, there's always this piece of graffiti right next to it. For the longest time, I didn't understand what it said. It was written in a different language. Why would I even care what it said? But after a while, I learned the language well enough to actually read it. And I found it very offensive. It made me very angry. My heart was beating. My cheeks were red. Why did that happen? It was the same graffiti. It was the same place. I saw the same thing, the same sequence of letters. The thing that changed was how I interpreted it. So even things that we consider to be 100% true, like vision, aren't always correct. Look at this picture. The one on the left is obviously darker than the one on the right, but they're the exact same shade of gray. Even the things such as sight don't have to be correct. They all fall under interpretation. You're driving on the highway and a car speeds past you. What's everybody's first thought? What a reckless driver. He doesn't know how to drive. Take away his license. But if you were told he had an emergency, I bet that frustration of yours would even turn to sympathy for that person. So there's this gap between your reaction and what actually happened. And that's what we call interpretation. Even if you don't give the benefit of the doubt for others, give it for yourself. I give my friend a call, right? And I wait. He doesn't answer. If I get frustrated, oh wow, how dare he? He's so rude. He doesn't answer me. He doesn't pick up his phone. And then I go on side if I start an argument. But if I were, oh wow, poor guy, he must be busy, right? He can't even call me in his free time. The difference between the first situation and the second situation is how I reacted, how I interpreted him not replying. The first time I got really hung up. I was going to start an argument. I got angry. But the second time, who cares? He didn't reply. Oh well. Now that is positive interpretation to the side. Can you guys tell me where most mental illnesses stem from, such as schizophrenia, social anxiety, and depression? They're from misinterpreting reality from what actually happened. Take social anxiety, for example. A person with social anxiety, if someone were to laugh around them, they would assume that they're laughing at them. They interpret their laughing to be directed at them. It's a very common symptom, and it's what leads them to feel judged and alienated. But if the same thing were to happen to a normal person, they're laughing, good for them. Who cares? Let me ask you this. When was the last time you did something embarrassing? And when was the last time someone else did something embarrassing? I'm willing to bet it's much easier to recall the thing you did rather than the thing that someone else did. Now that I've told you both the good and the bad, I'll tell you how to gain it, how to achieve better interpretation. I'd be a bad presenter if I preached for 5 minutes and I didn't tell you how to get it. It's much easier to catch yourself making a mistake in interpretation, such as the example of a car speeding past you, rather than switching how you interpret things. So the key is, when you find yourself assuming something about someone or something or a situation, to catch yourself, stop yourself, and then guide yourself back on track. After days, maybe weeks, maybe months, depends on the person, you'll realize this will become like a reflex. It will become automatic. I'd like to thank you all for listening, and I hope you interpreted this well. This speech well.